Big day today. Last night Loretta Lynch accepted the FBI's recommendation, and
Get back, Loretta.
She closed the Hillary email investigation. And moments from now, the FBI director James Comey will be on the hot seat. The House Oversight Committee is going to be grilling him about why he did what he did, and did she receive preferential treatment?
Of course she did. She's a Clinton.
That's right. And with more on that, let's go to the best in the business, really. Andrew McCarthy. He's Bruce Wolf's hero.
Oh, yeah.
And he writes and contributing editor for the National Review. Good morning, Andrew. How are you?
Good morning, Amy. And hi, Bruce.
Hi, Andy. And of course, was a former federal prosecutor.
That is even as important as the fact that he's a contributing editor to the National Review. So what do we expect to learn here today with James Comey on the hot seat?
Well, I would imagine that he'll be pressed a little bit harder on what he found to be the considerations that, as he put it, any reasonable prosecutor would cite in coming to the decision that, despite the overwhelming evidence that he articulated of Mrs. Clinton's grossly negligent mishandling of classified information, she should nevertheless not be charged for grossly negligently mishandling classified information.
So you think, and you've written several articles about this, that Hillary Clinton should have been charged?
Well, certainly based on Comey's description of what the FBI's investigation uncovered, I think she certainly should have been charged. I think that, to put a football analogy on it, he marched the ball down the field with Tom Brady-like precision and deadliness, and then when he got to the red zone, seemingly ready to score, he basically moved the goalpost. And what I mean by that is he laid out an overwhelmingly convincing case that she mishandled classified information with gross negligence, which is all the statute requires. And at the end, he said that she nevertheless shouldn't be charged because she didn't have an intent to harm the United States. And if you think about it, that really makes no sense. It's not only not required by the statute, but just to not be so lawyerly here and just think about this in common sense terms. Think about the things that happen in your own life when you're negligent, which happens to all of us. We never intend them. What we intend to do usually is the negligent thing that causes the bad result. And to make it more concrete, if you have a passenger in a car and the driver is texting behind the wheel and the inevitable accident happens, you can never say that the driver who was texting intended the harm to come to his passengers, but he certainly intended to text behind the wheel. And what we have with Mrs. Clinton is she fully intended to carry out her government business on this non-government, amateurishly non-secure communication system, knowing that this made our national defense information highly vulnerable to hacking by hostile foreign intelligence services. And yet she did it. So she may not have intended the harm to the United States, but she certainly intended the grossly negligent conduct that put us at peril.
We're talking with Andy McCarthy of the National Review, former federal prosecutor. Full disclosure here on my part. Andy and
You're stalking him?
Amy, Andy and I got into a Twitter fight about a week and a half ago when Derrick Rose went to the New York Knicks. And what happened was I suggested that Derrick wear uniform number 19 in honor of the score that I got for Derrick when I took the SAT for him years ago.
Oh,
and
okay.
Andy immediately responded with a picture of Willis Reed, who had number 19. And I thank you for your indulgence in even coming on this show today, Andy, in light of my transgressions.
Appropriately chastised, there's only 119. So as long as we're square on that,
there we go. And by the way, now we find out, as the other shoe was dropped, the Bulls got rid of Derrick Rose because you're only allowed one hometown hero, and now they've gotten Dwayne Wade just last night. So that takes care of the sports. Andy had the tortured sports metaphor before about marching down the field. I prefer.
So
kidding. No, here's my real.
You liked my texting behind the wheel thing better.
Like that. Actually, my wife Roma heard that yesterday. You said it on another show, but that's fine. We wanted to hear it too. All right. Here's the thing, and maybe this is getting a little technical. Jonah Goldberg has written from the beginning that the private server is the smoking gun. And doesn't that show intent? She sets, we say that gross negligence is the only threshold you have to meet, but wouldn't there be intent if you set up a private server? Your intention is to circumvent the laws of the United States so that nobody can make Freedom of Information Act requests and get to anything. I mean, you don't have to want to betray the United States and put, our assets on the ground in various parts of the world in jeopardy. Isn't that intent, or am I barking up the wrong tree there?
You're not really barking up the wrong tree. It's just that, look, I'd say two things about it. The thing that you're highlighting here, the fact that she set up this service system really to defeat federal law across the board, it had nothing to do really with classified information, right? That was just an attendant consequence of it. What she was really trying to defeat was accountability. She didn't want to have exposure to the Freedom of Information Act. She didn't want to have exposure to congressional investigations and the like. That's why I was quite surprised that when Director Comey got into her intent, which is really beside the point on the statute we're talking about, he described her intent as if it were benign, when, as you're correctly describing and as Joan has pointed out, it was anything but. It was, it was intent to defeat federal law. Where it gets dicey with classified information is that you are dealing with these statutes, some of which require a specific intent to harm the United States, and the one that we're talking about of which doesn't. And I think what Comey conflated, if you look at the statute that we're talking about, which is Section 793 of the Federal Penal Code, it's part of what's known as the Espionage Act, there's kind of a sliding scale of crimes affecting national security. At the top of the list is crimes involving an intent to harm the United States, where you purposely transmit or classified information to people who shouldn't have it, often enemies. At the bottom of the list is another felony offense that has nothing to do with intent to harm the United States and is merely what we've been discussing, which is you're a person who has a security clearance. You've been trusted with national security information. You have an obligation to protect it, and you are grossly negligent in handling it, with the result that it ends up in a place or with a person who shouldn't have it.
Okay, Andy, we only have a few seconds here, so I wanted you to do this
in
like
a few minutes.
All right, okay.
But I have to ask a question once you're done.
Okay, I want do this in like 2 tweets worth. Okay, here's the question. Comey's going to get up there today, and basically he's going to admit to Chaffetz or whoever that extreme carelessness is gross negligence, but he's going to fall back on the fact that no reasonable prosecutor would bring this case because unlike, say, Petraeus, who intentionally took the secrets and gave them to Paula Broadwell, who shouldn't have had any access to it, this is the gross negligence case, and no reasonable prosecutor should bring that case. What say you to that?
I think he's wrong. I think former Attorney General Mukasey thinks he's wrong. Rudy Giuliani, who was the U.S. attorney who hired and trained both Jim and I, think he's wrong. So I think it's presumptuous of him to say that no reasonable prosecutor would disagree with him. I think a lot would.
And don't you think, Loretta Lynch should have been the one to decide? James Comey coming out and giving an unprecedented news conference just seems strange. And then, for 10 minutes, he strung us along, letting us think that, she's going to be charged, then drops the bombshell. And Loretta Lynch yesterday, she was quick to review it and say no charges against Hillary.
Yeah, you're right, Amy. They call it prosecutorial discretion for a reason. It's not the FBI, it's the prosecutors who decide whether to bring charges. But by doing what he didn't need to do, Jim could have just said, here's the case. Now it's up to the good people at the Justice Department to decide what to do with it. He instead took the decision out of their hands under circumstances where they were obviously very compromised. And
Mr. McCarthy, what do you know or what are your sources telling you about the secret private plane conversation that Bill Clinton had with Loretta Lynch?
Happily,
and don't tell me it's
have
about
no
the grandkids.
Sources who can tell me anything that goes on in Bill Clinton's life. So,
but I know it was bad optics, but the fact that those two met on the same day the Benghazi report was coming out, and then later, all of this transpired seems, at the very least, bad judgment.
As I said over the weekend when I wrote about it, it's a classic case of the appearance of impropriety, which is the standard by which lawyers govern themselves when they decide whether they should be recused from cases. So having done that, I couldn't understand why Attorney General Lynch would compound the problem by not recusing yourself from the case.
The last thing I have to say is, have you no shame, Mr. McCarthy, for giving us this tortured metaphor about Tom Brady going down the field?
Hey, look, my son's a big Tom Brady fan, and he's been putting up with me for the last few days on this. So it's more of
Don't
a stop
stop.
to him than to Tom.
I guess so. But you're excused. That's fine.
All right, thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Andrew McCarthy from National Review, former federal prosecutor. Thanks so much for joining
Knicks
us.
fan.
And a Knicks fan. He joined us on our Turnkey.Pro answer line.